Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the channel Biblical Chronicles. If you are new here, kindly subscribe the channel. In the depths of the earthly tomb, a seeker awakens, recalling the hidden wisdom of the secret book of John. The world, a prison of illusion, binds souls in the Demiurge's grasp. A voice Sophia's echo and whispers of the true light beyond. With each revelation, the seeker shatters the chains of ignorance. The archons falter, their power undone by divine knowledge. Ascending beyond the material, the seeker merges with the Pleroma, escaping the tomb of earth to embrace the eternal truth. The world appears solid and real. Mountains rise, rivers flow, and the sky stretches endlessly. People walk the streets, build cities, and chase dreams. But beneath the surface, something is wrong. The world is not what it seems. A force lurks behind creation. It shapes reality, twisting light into shadow. This force is the Demiurge. He rules with deception. He weaves illusions to keep souls asleep. He builds a kingdom of matter, thick like a veil. His power binds the senses. Eyes see, but they do not perceive. Ears hear, but they do not understand. Minds think, but they do not awaken. The Demiurge creates rulers, the archons. They enforce his will. They whisper lies into the fabric of existence. They make laws that bind. They craft desires that trap. Wealth, power, and pleasure, if these are their tools. They feed the hunger of the flesh. They stir fear of the unknown. They make the soul forget. From birth, the illusion begins. A child enters the world, pure and unknowing. Soon, the world surrounds it. Names are given, roles assigned. The system demands obedience. School teaches facts, not truth. Work consumes time. Life becomes routine. The spirit fades into the background. The body feels real. It hungers and thirsts. It aches and ages. It decays. The world convinces the soul that it is nothing more than flesh. The cycle of birth and death repeats. Each life is another chain. Memory is erased, and the game begins again. The sky above seems infinite, yet it is a prison. The earth below feels firm, yet it is a grave. The stars twinkle, but they do not guide. All of creation is a grand deception. The Demiurge proclaims himself God. He demands worship. He punishes those who question. His voice speaks through rulers, priests, and kings. His laws shape empires. His will molds civilization. Suffering spreads like a shadow. War, greed, and despair consume the world. People search for meaning but find only emptiness. They chase dreams that vanish like mist. They grasp at pleasures that turn to dust. Nothing lasts, nothing satisfies. Yet, a faint light lingers. A whisper calls from beyond the illusion. The soul remembers something, a truth buried deep. The world is not home. The body is not the self. The prison is not eternal. The illusion can be broken. The seeker stirs. The chains rattle. The mind questions. The heart longs. The first crack appears in the veil. The Demiurge trembles. The archons take notice. The battle for awakening begins. A voice calls from the silence. It is soft, yet powerful. It does not come from the world outside. It rises from within. It is the whisper of something ancient, something true. It speaks of light beyond the darkness. It reveals a path unseen by the eyes. The world drowns it out. Noise fills every moment. Words, orders, distractions, each one a barrier. The mind is pulled in all directions. Fear keeps it caged. Desire keeps it restless. But the whisper remains. It waits for those who listen. It speaks of origins forgotten. The soul is not from this place. It was never meant to be trapped. It came from the light, the realm beyond. It was whole, pure, and free. Then the fall happened. A deception took root. A false creator rose and claimed power. The soul was cast into matter, bound to the cycles of birth and death. The whisper carries the memory of before. It reminds the soul of what was lost. It tells of a divine spark buried deep. It cannot be destroyed, only hidden. The Demiurge fears it. The archons suppress it. But it still glows, waiting to be found. Truth is dangerous in a world of lies. Those who listen begin to change. Their sight clears. Their hearts burn with questions. The world no longer feels real. The rules no longer make sense. The system no longer controls them. The whisper grows stronger. It speaks of the true source. Beyond the veil of matter, beyond the illusions, lies the Pleroma. It is fullness, light, and unity. It is the home of the divine, It calls its children back. The journey is hard, the path is narrow, but the soul was never meant to stay in darkness. The whisper guides through dreams and visions. It leads through sacred words. It reveals itself in moments of silence. It is hidden in ancient texts. It speaks through those who have awakened. It is always near, waiting to be heard. The world fights back. The archons send fear. They create doubts. They twist truth into confusion. They offer comforts to keep the soul asleep. But the whisper does not fade. It calls through the noise. It reminds. It strengthens. It awakens. The seeker follows its voice. Questions turn into revelations. The prison walls begin to crack. The light grows brighter. The soul remembers what it truly is. The journey home begins. The whisper becomes a song. The song becomes a roar. The divine knowledge is no longer hidden. The illusion cannot hold it back. Ignorance is a prison. It is not made of stone or steel. It is built from lies. It surrounds the mind, trapping it in shadows. It keeps the soul asleep, unaware of its true nature. The chains are heavy, but they are unseen. The world teaches obedience. Do not question. Do not seek. Follow the rules. Accept what you are told. The system rewards submission. It punishes doubt. Fear keeps the chains strong. Fear of rejection. Fear of suffering. Fear of the unknown. The whisper of truth is the first crack. A question is asked. A doubt is born. What if the world is not what it seems? What if life is more than survival? What if everything taught was a lie? The chains tremble. The seeker begins to search. Books, teachings, hidden wisdom, each one a key. The more is learned, the weaker the chains become. The falsehoods of the Demiurge unravel. The soul sees the illusion. The system loses its grip. The world fights back. The archons stir. They use distractions. They send confusion. They tempt with comfort. They strike with fear. They whisper, "Stay where you are. Do not seek. Do not question." The chains tighten. The struggle begins. Knowledge is power. Truth is light. The seeker moves forward. The old self dies. The new self awakens. The bonds of ignorance fall away. The veil lifts. The prison doors open. But the journey is not easy. The world resists change. Family, friends, society, they do not understand. They see rebellion, not freedom. They see madness, not wisdom. They demand conformity. They cling to their chains. The seeker must choose. Return to ignorance or walk the unknown path. Safety or truth. Darkness or light. The choice is painful. The choice is necessary. The soul was never meant to be bound. Breaking free requires sacrifice. Comfort is lost. Certainty disappears. The old life crumbles. But in the ruins, something greater emerges. Awareness, understanding, liberation. Each step forward shatters another chain. Fear dissolves. Doubt fades. The archons lose control. The Demiurge weakens. The seeker is no longer a prisoner. The seeker becomes free. Freedom is not just escape. It is knowing. It is seeing beyond the illusion. It is living without fear. The world remains the same, but the soul is different. The chains are gone. The prison no longer holds power. The seeker has awakened. The journey is almost complete. The seeker has seen through the illusion. The chains of ignorance are broken. The world no longer holds power. The soul remembers what it is. The path leads upward. The return begins. The archons make their final stand. They whisper doubts. They stir attachments. They tempt with one last illusion. Stay, forget, rest. But the soul knows the truth. The false world has nothing left to offer. The call of the Pleroma is too strong. Light breaks through the veil. The prison walls collapse. The soul rises beyond the material. The Demiurge shouts in anger. His kingdom crumbles. His power fades. He cannot hold what was never his. The seeker is no longer bound. The ascent is not through space. It is through knowing. It is through being. Each step forward is a step inward. The false self disappears. The true self shines. The illusions fade into nothing. The archons try once more. They appear as gods. They appear as light. They promise rewards. They demand worship. But the seeker sees through them. They are only shadows. They are only echoes of the lie. The soul moves past them. The final gate stands open. Beyond it is the Pleroma, the fullness, the source, the eternal home. It was never far. It was always near. Hidden only by forgetfulness. Lost only by deception. The soul enters. Light fills everything. No more separation. No more fear. No more longing. The journey is over, the return is complete, the seeker is home. The soul is one with the divine, the illusion is no more. The journey from ignorance to enlightenment is the soul's greatest victory. The world, built on illusion, seeks to chain and control, but truth cannot be imprisoned. The Demiurge and his archons rule only through deception, and once the seeker awakens, their power crumbles. The soul was never meant to be bound by fear, falsehood, or material desire. It was always a spark of the divine, destined to return to the fullness of the Pleroma. True liberation comes not from escape, but from knowledge. The seeker does not flee the world in fear but transcends it through wisdom. The prison dissolves when one sees beyond it. The false gods lose their power when one no longer worships them. The journey is not about destruction but about remembering what was forgotten, reclaiming what was lost. The moral is clear: seek truth, no matter the cost. Do not be deceived by the illusions of power, wealth, or status. The soul's purpose is not to serve the false world but to reunite with the divine, break the chains, reject the lie, and walk the path of wisdom. Only then will the prison become an illusion, and the seeker will rise beyond it. Enlightenment is not a destination, it is a return home.